Hi, everyone. Welcome back to today's Training Industry Learning Tech Showcase, AI-driven authoring tools sponsored by Camtasia, FlowSparks, Guide, IsEazy, and Sheer IMC. I'm Emma, a marketing associate here at Training Industry, and I'm so excited to have you with us today. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items to go over to help you interact with our speaker and get the most out of today's program. Throughout today's event, please feel free to use the chat for comments and submit questions in the Q&A panel. All the questions will be addressed during the event or at the end of the session during our Q&A section. At the end of the event, you'll notice a short survey will pop open in your browser, and we'd appreciate your thoughts on today's event. And as always, all of our sessions are being recorded and will be archived on trainingindustry.com, and you'll receive a follow-up email from us with a link to the on-demand sessions. If this is your first Training Industry event, we'd like to welcome you. Training Industry exists to make connections among learning and development professionals. We offer tons of resources to support your role in L&D through live events like today's Learning Tech Showcase, as well as through articles on our website, our magazine, conferences, research reports, our podcast, and more. You can visit trainingindustry.com to learn more. And now, without any further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce you to our speaker, Stephen Weaver, Key Account Manager at IsEazy. It's great to see you, Stephen.
Thank you very much, Emma. And thank you everyone for joining today, giving me some time. I hope you're having a good Monday afternoon. Let me go ahead and pull up my screen here. Should share sound. Perfect. Again, my name is Stephen. Thank you for the introduction, Emma. And I'm based in Daytona Beach, Florida. Hope you're having a good week. Thank you for joining From Overwhelmed to Empowered, How to Deliver Outstanding Content Creation with AI Course Creation. I'm a key account manager at IsEazy. And if you haven't heard of IsEazy before, this is your first time, welcome. Glad to meet you. Today, I'm going to be focusing obviously on IsEazy Author, this icon you see at the top here, our course creator tool, putting everything in your hand. But keep it in the back of your mind. We do a lot of different things at IsEazy. For the past 20 years, for example, our bread and butter has been our factory team. We do bespoke course creation, create content on any topic that you have. Our skills library has about 400 pre-made lessons that are ready to go, and our learning management system also. But one of my favorite tools in our bundle is our authoring tool, IsEazy Author. So it's a great foot in the door. That's what we're going to be focused on today. Just a couple PowerPoint slides and then we'll get into it. But the main theme is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So for today, I don't want to give you another tool that's going to flip your workflow upside down. I realize y'all already have courses in queue right now and trainings that need to be set up and done next month. So it's in the back of your mind to learn some of these new AI tools and keep up with the latest trends. I know that's being pushed on you and it's a big pressure for everyone right now, but hopefully by the end of this webinar, you'll see this is a tool that'll fit into what you're already doing, the tools you're already using. It's got some of the latest AI built into the tool as well. So we have about 6 AI tools in specific that you can look out for throughout our course creator tool. And they're going to let you do things like generate evaluations at the end of a presentation if you want to test your learners. It can also let you do things like automatic translations into about 36 different languages, and they're very localized. Our automated voiceovers, so we'll definitely show you a few of these today. But the main goal of this webinar is by the end of this presentation, you're going to be able to see how you can take a PowerPoint that you have. And if it's not a PowerPoint, maybe you have, PDFs or Word documents, but resource you already have, a PowerPoint, upload it into Author and get a SCORM package. So that'll be the main goal. We'll leave some time for questions at the end. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and open up my web browser. IsEazy Author is a web application, so nothing to download or install. All you're going to do is go to our website. It's an annual subscription. Once you sign up, you can sign in. First thing that you're going to see, we kind of have this landing page area. We call it My Environments. It's your home page where you're going to be able to organize your different trainings in different folders here. But one of the first things you're going to need to do is build your first lesson. So if I click into this folder, you're going to see this new project button. And we do have the express course option on IsEazy Author. This is great if you know your audience is going to be on mobile devices, or maybe the training is just videos and you still want to give an interactivity. Those express courses are max 20 slides. They're great, but most of our courses are built in our regular course format, max 300 slides. And the very first step that you do when creating a lesson on IsEazy Author is choosing a corporate template. And the ones that you see at the top here are ones that we've built for other companies we already work with. So maybe you're familiar with Almirall, a big pharmaceutical company, or Repsol, for example, a big energy company. This is so that those L&D, those training managers, when they go in to build lessons, they don't have to worry about having the company logo, the color scheme, or the fonts set up. Even the layout of the elements on the individual slide, all that can be pre-built, pre-made. So you can eventually have your company template in here, and it makes it easier when you have new offers coming in the future. So you can use those, but we also have just these IsEazy templates, pre-made templates down here as well. These are great because each individual slide has different diagrams and elements are formatted differently. So each one is a little different. I can just pick this Gradient Lab one, for example. I'll just grab a basic color scheme for now. It'll bring us to our slide index page, and we can just give it a title, for example, Onboarding 101. We do also have these section titles. We'll just say Introduction, and I'll just say Welcome to the webinar. You have the opportunity to add other subsections. I won't go crazy with that right now. If you hover over this arrow, though, once you have those sections built out and click Edit, that's going to bring you into our actual slide editor. So this is our IsEazy Author slide editor here. You're going to have your course navigation and adding new slides, your slide navigation on the left-hand side. You'll make all your edits in the middle, obviously, but then you also have some configurations on the right-hand side here. So go add in a new slide. If I want to do a blank slide at any time, I can add in. It doesn't matter what template you're using. I can always start from scratch. And, for example, if I just wanted to add in a basic element. So once you hit that plus button, this is where you're going to see all 25 elements that you could add into your presentation. The more interactive ones are at the bottom, but if we just wanted to do basics, like an image with text overlaid, we can do boxed gradient. I'll just say, welcome to the webinar. And the text editor is kind of a what you see is what you get text editor, where you can format it, give it a little bit of a larger title. And then we can say, oh, if we wanted to add a background image here, we can use our photo catalog if we'd like. We can just search webinar, for example, and we can just have that in there. Welcome to the webinar, right? Now, instead of starting from scratch, I could have also just used these pre-made slides. So if I wanted to, I could add in that template slide for an introduction there. And then maybe if I scroll down the next slide with some text and an image that I could upload there. If you keep scrolling down, you get a little bit more interactive with these pre-made slides. Maybe I could add in a interactive video, but if I preview this, right, these are just slides where if I had a PowerPoint or a PDF in another window, I can just copy and paste that text right in. It's already well designed for me. I can upload that image. For the interactive video here, obviously we upload our own MP4 video, but then we can go in and choose, okay, at this timestamp, we want to display a message. So we can copy and paste our text in there, but then at this timestamp, we can go in and actually display a question too, have it pause. They'll have to answer correctly before moving on in the video. So we can customize all that. But these template slides are great because along with that video, we can give it some nice subtext. It's got that nice blue background. But like I said, I can go and click on this element here, and I can delete this filler video it's given me. I'll upload my own MP4 video. And you can see I can now play that. I've got my video in there, and I can see if I click on that element at the bottom, I'll see my interactions. If I want, I can just delete all those pre-made ones, and I can say, okay, I want to add an ABC question right off the bat in 4 seconds. And we can edit all that information there and add it in. So the interactive video is great along with this pre-made slide. But like I said, these are just copy and paste. We can add them in. One of the first pieces of AI that you're going to find in our platform, you're going to see when I played this video, we didn't have any subtitles or transcriptions on it. So if I click on the video, every time you see this purple button, that's where you're going to run into our AI. So this is the first way I can use some of the machine learning, is to automatically transcribe an MP4 video. You see at the bottom here, this is just nonsense here. This is what they had in the beginning. But if we give it a second, we should get that transcription. The second way you can use the AI that I'll show you real quick here is on that first slide we built. It was pretty basic with just a title and this background, but you'll see our element there. Right beneath the element, no matter what slide you're on, you're going to see this presenter option. And if you hit the presenter option, this is where you're going to be able to add in either a voiceover or a video presenter on any slide. For the voiceover, I could add in my MP3 file there if you had professional voiceover already made, but I can also use our automated text-to-speech feature. This is one of the best ways to use the machine learning on Author. For example, I can copy and paste some text that I had in another document. I can bring it back over to my Author here, and you're going to see these different pronunciations. I'm not sure if you're able to hear my audio. Maybe someone can give me a check, but anyways, I'll pick this pronunciation. I'll just go with this. You can just male or female. You have different pronunciations in languages. I'll hit request voiceover. Let's see in the chat. Cannot hear the audio. Let me see if I can reshare with the audio here. Share sound. There we go. Perfect. Thank you for that. So I already requested the voiceover, and while I was resharing, we should have this ready to go. You can hear it here.
Thanks for joining today's webinar about IsEazy Author. We hope this will be a clear explanation of how to use our course authoring tool.
Can you hear that?
This is
Let's make sure you can hear that. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so you got to hear that little voiceover. You can see there's my MP3 file it's given me. And I can even download this MP3 file and use that in different slides if I want. Once you have your voiceover built, it's all yours. So this is one of the cheapest and fastest ways to get professional sounding voiceovers today. And it's all within this course editor here. No matter what slide you're on, you can choose that presenter option and add those in. You also have the video presenter, which you feel free to explore, but you can see we've got that.
Thanks for joining today.
Voiceover, and then we also should have
There are people who either
our subtitles. So you can see now our video's transcribed. We've got all our subtitles on there, and that can save us a lot of time if we're doing that manually. And what's great is we've got the transcription down here, and we can go in and edit any of that content or copy and paste it and save it to use elsewhere. So yeah, these pre-made slides are great. I'm actually just going to back out of this lesson though and delete this. I don't need it for now. I'm going to confirm removal, delete this project. And I'm going to show you what it looks like to upload a lesson straight from PowerPoint. So right next to that new project icon, you have the import PowerPoint button. And I already uploaded a PowerPoint. You can see I've kind of already subsectioned it out here. So I added 3 subsections, gave it a title. This PowerPoint, it already looks great. It's design fundamentals. The first section here kind of talks about the history of design, where it came from. It's from the American Graphics Institute. But when you import a PowerPoint lesson, all your slides are imported as a PNG file there. So it's just an image element on each slide. But I like how this looks. I don't need to change the design or move things around. The important thing now is I want to add interactivity to it and engagement. So what I can do is hit that plus icon. I'll add a new slide. This is just a blank slide. I'm going to just choose one element. if I hit that plus button, again, this is where you're going to see all 25 elements that you can add into your presentation. My favorite one out of this whole list is this chat simulation right here. I'm going to hit this chat simulation, and this is the third way you can use AI in IsEazy Author. I'm going to hit create content, and I'm going to tell the computer to look at all the content in just this first section. I could pick the whole program, but I'm just going to look at these slides here, and I'm going to tell it to build me this simulation based on the content there. Right now, you see if I scroll down on this element, there's nothing added in here. No messages, no title. I'm just going to use machine learning to save myself a little bit of time. I'm going to drag it up to the top here because we're going to start the training with this little simulation. And you can see, okay, it's given us a title, Design Principles and Historical Influence on Modern Design. If I want, I can add a nice little cover image for this guy. I'll just search for design in our photo catalog. Pick this one here, and I'll preview this simulation. So the chat simulation is great because it doesn't require a lot of response from the learner. It's not a big drag and drop. It's a text-based simulation. They're just going to pay attention to this conversation as if they were part of it. And then in order to move forward, they'll have to answer correctly. What is a core belief of the Bauhaus design philosophy? Form follows function. So there we go. Perfect. So this is great because you can pack a lot of information in here and you can still test them on the knowledge, but all they're doing is having to pay attention and select the right answer. So something that's still pretty interactive, but a lot of information can be in there. So I'll close that out. And if you click on that element now in the editor, you can see if you scroll down all the messages that the machine has built for us based on the information from these first 20 slides. And I can click into those messages and edit any of that information. So if anything looks weird, you don't like any of it, I can edit the message. I can even give Sophia here a little profile picture avatar. And you can go further in the customization and even add in an MP3 file to those questions, or if you want them to watch a video before answering the question in the simulation. So the important thing is the AI has saved us a little bit of time, but given us something to work with, and then we can go in and make it even better. Now the second one, I've got a couple more sections, one on balance and proportion. My last one is on typography. So I'll add in one more. If I scroll down, I'm actually going to grab a template slide here. And these ones are really interactive. You get the exercises and games. We got a lot of different ones, but you can pick this trivia one, for example. Same concept. Right now, there's nothing in here. It's just filler text for you to work with. But the trivia is going to give you a bunch of different categories. In each category, you'll have a question. You'll have to answer correctly. If you click on this, it's important to know each one of these elements can be built from scratch. You don't need to use AI here. You can build these out manually. You can go in and build these questions manually, copy and paste if you got text, but I'm going to save some time and say, okay, create content from all the slides in just the typography section. And in a couple of minutes, it should give me a new activity, and I'll drag it all the way up to the top so we can start with that. We should be able to preview it here in a second. So it's given us the title, Mastering Typography and Design. And it should have given us a few different categories. 4 different categories. Type hierarchy. What is the consequence of not applying a type hierarchy? There we go. Perfect. So great. We've got a couple interactives in there. It's important to know that those aren't formal evaluations. Those are just things to keep people engaged. We're not tracking any of that. But if you want to add in a formal evaluation, typically that'd come from your LMS, but you do have the option in Author to add on the formal evaluation at the bottom here. You can click Edit. If you go to Edit Questions, you can build questions manually, but this is the 4th or 5th spot where you can use AI within Author here. So I'm actually going to tell the machine to look over all the content that was in that PowerPoint and just give me a few questions to put at the end. The evaluations are pretty basic. It's just multiple choice. But you can see here, I'll delete this manual one, and we've got 3 solid questions in there to start with. So now if I preview this, I've got my logo there. I've got the course title there. This is kind of the header before we start. We've got the simulation kicking things off. If you go to the course navigation, you're going to see all your different sections. And then at the end, you'll see your evaluation, your formal evaluation, where you can hit start, and all your learners will have to go through, select and submit all the questions. And then when they do that, in your account, if you go to your analytics tab, you'll at least get a list of all the folks that were in there, the start, finish time, and their marks, if you had that evaluation on there. So right above this analytics tab is where you're going to go to distribution. And this is the most important part, because once you've done all that work, you've uploaded the PowerPoint, you've added some interactivity, some evaluations, then you're going to go to distribution, and you're going to go to the LMS tab, and you're going to see you can either select monitor by completion, monitor by evaluation. But once you publish this course, then you can download the SCORM package. You can see here, I've downloaded this zip file directly to my computer. And whether it's 1.2, 2004, or the XAPI, you can take that SCORM and then put that into whatever LMS you're working with right now. So that's how you're going to get that SCORM package directly from that PowerPoint lesson. You can also get a direct link if you want to publish that there. We have some advanced options. If I wanted to share for review, if someone didn't have an account, for example, I can put this share for review link in the chat right now. Any of you could go in there. You could open that up. Oops. And that's just nice because you don't need to have an account, but you can say, oh, my manager can say, change the header on this slide. They'll send a notification, and then in your account, you'll get that notification there in your editor there. So there's some great collaboration features on our enterprise license. You also get the translate with AI. This allows you to translate a full course into 36 different languages on the spot. That's the 6th way you can use our AI credits in there. So there's a lot more that goes into this platform. And the very last thing that I want to mention is, Author's just the first step. But like I said, our LMS program here, this is kind of what it looks like. You'll have your training where you have all your programs. You'll have, your users and data. You upload all your users. But right inside your LMS, we call it our all-in-one LMS, you're going to have access to your IsEazy Author account as well. So you don't need to log in or out, switch programs. You can make all those edits, customize those lessons. Everything I just showed you can do it directly within here and then send it directly back to your LMS here where all your programs are, and you can go in and actually stack on an activity like a formal evaluation, a formal test, or you can just grab from our IsEazy Skills bank of libraries, which is also in the all-in-one. These are all those pre-made courses I had mentioned at the start. So there's a lot more to look into with IsEazy, but I hope this was a good overview of IsEazy Author. I think we've got a couple minutes for questions. I think that's just about everything I wanted to share for right now. So I'll bring it back up to this Q&A page. But yeah, thank you all very much. Excited to meet you. If you want a demo, let me know.
Yeah, it looks like we do have some people, lots of questions. So, okay, let's see where to start. How does IsEazy do with screen demonstrations? Some of my training is how I do something in a tool.
In a tool, screen demos, I'm assuming you're like just sharing your screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, no, there shouldn't be any problems with that. Pretty smooth. Haven't heard any issues. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can we create our own theme, like brand colors, font type, button design?
Yeah, that's one of the great things about that enterprise license is you can actually go in custom templates and you can build one time. You can go and configure your course image, add in your company logo, your company colors, and you can get specific with, the color hex code. But this is, like I said in the beginning, what you can do that one time on the enterprise license so that when you go to create a new project, you'll have your company template right in here. So that's what that would look like. Great question.
All right. So what about once the slides are created? Are they editable after they've been created?
Yeah, so good question. After you've published it and sent it to a SCORM package, that's not editable. Once it's in the SCORM package, you can't edit it. But as long as you still have that on Author in your account, you can always republish. I won't share it now, but if I still have this guy in here and I had already published it, all I'm going to need to do is republish here and then download the SCORM package again. A great question.
Great. Let's see. How much customization is there within the communications features?
Communications features. So you have the share for review. Maybe they're talking about the LMS on that,
Okay.
on the communications features. There's a lot more I can get into about the LMS if that's a question about the LMS.
Okay.
I won't right now, but
Sounds like it. All right. In evaluation, do you have other types of questions instead of just like a quiz? Could you do ordering a series of tasks or matching?
yeah. So for Author, what we showed you today, no, we want to keep it simple. It's just multiple choice. But for LMS, that's where you can really get in. I'll show you an example real quick. If I go to activities and add a new test, we'll just say test. I won't worry about my spelling today. I'll hit edit test. And if I wanted to add in a new block, for example, this is what you would be putting on top of a SCORM package. You can add in the single answer, multiple choice, yes or no, true or false, open response, response range, join with arrows. So you have a lot of different options with our LMS when it comes to the test. But for Author, it's just the multiple choice.
Cool. When AI generates the quizzes, voiceovers, and interactive elements, how much control do designers have to customize tone, difficulty, and we already talked about branding.
Yeah, great question. So all of our AI, first off, everything's coming from Microsoft Azure. So the voiceovers are actually pretty high quality, but everything's pretty customizable. So let me go back to that voiceover I built in that first slide. Sorry. Oh, I had deleted that actually. Let me see if I can transcribe a new one. I won't transcribe a new one right now. I won't do it for you right now, but in the beginning, you saw you're able to go in and edit the transcriptions. When you add in, I guess I can show you this real quick. When you add in a new voiceover, if I went new presenter, text to speech, automated voiceovers. So you have male or female, and then you have all these different pronunciations as well.
with a guy. Feel the zen. I
So
understand.
there's some different tones.
Artificial intelligence.
Within the voiceover, and then that's the same with our video presenters as well. So a lot more to explore there. There's definitely some customization there.
Okay, we've time for maybe one or two more. Is there a plugin or integration for publishing with other LMSs?
Beyond, I mean, once you have the SCORM package, you can put that into any LMS.
Yeah.
I think that's the best
Okay.
I can answer that one.
Okay.
But yeah, there's no limit for LMS what you can work with. With Author, you should be free and clear.
Fantastic. All right, Stephen, that looks like all the time we have and all the questions we have today. Thanks so much for this presentation. If you want to share how we can get in contact with you, I'm sure you might be doing some follow-up after this session. That would be great.
Yes. I'm actually just gonna put I'm like I said, based in Daytona Beach, Florida on East Coast time, available anytime to do a demo. Let me know. You can get in touch with me after just by submitting a request through our website. It'll come right to me. But yeah, hopefully this was a good overview for you. Thank you all very much. I appreciate the time. Thank you, Emma. Thanks for hosting.
Fantastic. Thanks, Stephen.
All set.
All right, everyone. So we have a 15-minute break. Up next, we have Troy Stein from TechSmith Corporation. Need video, no time? Create learning videos with faster AI. In just a moment, I'm going to end this session. You can join the next session by returning to the event lobby and going to the session tab. I hope to see you all in that next session, which begins at the top of the hour. Thanks, everyone.